New leaked footage from Payne Stewart's tragic plane crash has surfaced, showing the final moments of a champion who transformed from golf's most controversial figure into its most beloved icon. On October 25, 1999, Stewart's chartered Learjet took off from Orlando, heading to Dallas for the Tour Championship. But just 14 minutes after takeoff, something went terribly wrong. Air traffic control lost contact with the aircraft as it climbed beyond its assigned altitude and failed to make its scheduled turn toward Dallas. The plane flew on autopilot for nearly 4 hours and 1,500 miles, completely unresponsive to all communication attempts. U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter jets were scrambled to intercept the Learjet. The military pilots could see through their cockpit windows that something was desperately wrong. The aircraft's windows were covered in frost and condensation, clear signs that the cabin had lost pressure and the temperature had dropped rapidly. Everyone aboard was already gone. The National Transportation Safety Board later determined that hypoxia, a lack of oxygen to the brain, had killed all 6 people on the plane early in the flight. The aircraft had a history of cabin pressure problems, and poor maintenance documentation sealed their fate. It was a random technical failure that claimed the life of a man at the very peak of his personal transformation. But Stewart's story isn't defined by how it ended. It's about the incredible journey he took to become golf's most respected figure. Born William Payne Stewart on January 30th, 1957, in Springfield, Missouri, he got his first set of golf clubs at just 4 years old from his father. His dad, William Lewis Stewart, was an accomplished amateur who had competed in the 1955 U.S. Open. The elder Stewart taught his son a harsh but important lesson about competition. If you play well, you get paid. If you don't, you go home with nothing. This created a fierce competitive drive that would define Stewart's entire career. After graduating from Southern Methodist University as an All-American golfer, Stewart turned professional in 1979. But success didn't come easy. He failed to earn his PGA Tour card twice at qualifying school. Instead of giving up, he took his father's advice and joined the Asian Golf Tour, playing it
arrogant. He spoke his mind whether people wanted to hear it or not. This created a strange mix of old-fashioned style with a very modern, sometimes ungracious attitude. Subscribe to our channel and tell us in the comments what you think about Stewart's amazing transformation from controversial competitor to beloved champion. Your thoughts help us create better content about golf's greatest stories. The moment that would define Stewart's early career happened at the 1989 PGA Championship at Kemper Lakes. Mike Reid, a widely respected and gentle player known for his accuracy, had dominated the tournament from the first round. Reid held a 3-shot lead with just 3 holes to play. Meanwhile, Stewart had started the final day 6 shots behind, but was making an incredible comeback. Playing 3 groups ahead of Reid, Stewart told an on-course reporter he believed he could still win if he shot 5 under par on the back 9. He did exactly that, making birdies on 4 of the final 5 holes. After finishing his round, Stewart admitted he said a little prayer while waiting in the scorer's tent. That prayer was answered in the most dramatic way possible. Reid, nicknamed Radar for his precision, completely fell apart over the final 3 holes. He hit his drive into the water on 16, messed up a chip shot on 17, and missed a 7-foot putt on 18 that would have forced a playoff. His emotional collapse gave Stewart his first major championship. But Stewart's reaction to winning was far from gracious. While his comeback was incredible, his comments after the victory showed a lack of empathy that shocked the golf world. He said he felt sorry for Mike Reid, but wasn't going to pretend about how happy he was. This moment crystallized his reputation as someone who cared more about winning than sportsmanship. It was especially harsh because Reid handled the devastating loss with remarkable grace. Despite being emotionally drained, Reid answered reporters' questions with humor, famously saying that sports is like life with the volume turned up. He even hugged Stewart after the round, showing the class that Stewart
Stewart had failed to display. Jack Nicklaus, one of golf's greatest sportsmen, waited by Reed's locker for an hour just to tell him he'd never felt so bad for anyone in his life. This created a powerful story of good
change was Stewart's deepening religious faith. His pastor noticed a softening of his pride, cynicism, and sarcasm. Stewart began focusing on caring for people as much as winning. This spiritual journey was inspired by his friend Paul Azinger, whose faith while battling cancer led Stewart in a more spiritual direction. The experience of humbling defeats combined with spiritual awakening created real changes in his behavior, both on and off the course. Stewart's generosity became legendary. Early in his career, he had donated his entire winner's check from the 1987 Bay Hill Classic to a local hospital. Later, he worked extensively with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. In one touching moment, he lifted a terminally ill boy named Joel Broering into a golf cart and introduced him to legends like Arnold Palmer and Fred Couples. After winning the tournament, Stewart gave the trophy to the boy. The peak of Stewart's sportsmanship came at the 1999 Ryder Cup, when his opponent Colin Montgomerie was being heckled by American spectators. Stewart had the hecklers removed. Later, with their match tied on the 18th hole, Stewart conceded the match to Montgomerie out of respect. This was the complete opposite of his behavior 10 years earlier. His commitment to character made his name synonymous with sportsmanship. Stewart's final major victory at the 1999 US Open at Pinehurst was the perfect ending to his transformation. The old Donald Ross course required feel, intuition, imagination, and emotion. These were exactly Stewart's strengths as a mature player. In the final climactic moment, he sank a 15-foot par putt on the 72nd hole to beat Phil Mickelson and win his third major championship. The pose Stewart struck after making that putt became golf's most iconic celebration. Photographer Darren Carroll captured the exact moment the ball dropped, with only Stewart, his caddy, and one spectator realizing the putt had gone in. The crowd's delayed reaction showed this was a private moment of triumph for a man who had earned it through years of personal growth. A bronze statue by sculptor Zenos Froudakis now stands near Pinehurst's 18th green, showing Stewart with his right leg and arm extended, mouth open in pure joy. The only applause at the somber service. Stewart's legacy lives on through the Payne Stewart Award, created by the PGA Tour and Southern Company, given annually to a player who best shows character, charity, and sportsmanship. It has honored legends like Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Tom Watson, and Gary Player. This ensures Stewart's story of transformation will be told year after year. Payne Stewart's life proves that real greatness isn't just about winning championships. It's about the person you become and how you use your success to help others. His journey from a brash young competitor to golf's most beloved figure shows that anyone can change and grow. Stewart didn't just master the game of golf, he mastered himself. His tragic death at the peak of his transformation turned him into an eternal symbol of redemption, reminding us all that it's never too late to become the person we're meant to be. If you found Stewart's story inspiring, please subscribe and share this video to help spread the message that character matters more than trophies.